And this topic, we're going to focus here for 18 minutes. Are you ready? On the topic of money and safety. Let me just hit go live on Instagram. And we should be good. Okay. So, well, I'm just going to hand it right over to you. Anything that you want to say about yourself as a very brief introduction about your background in this field, just for people that don't know you, but then let's jump right into the sweet spot of this topic.
Hi, thank you, Tiffany.
Mm.
And for those who don't know me, I am a financial coach. I'm also a Himalayan yogini, so I've spent years working with energy, practicing spirituality, and I'm just so interested in the topic of money and energy. And for me, the question I have is, why isn't it working? Why are people expanding their consciousness, and yet when it comes to money, they experience such a large contraction inside? And now, like, getting financial education is so much easier than it was 10, 20 years ago. There are money management 101 courses, there are investing courses everywhere on Instagram, on YouTube. But why is it so difficult to get people who are spiritually awakened to access wealth and abundance? And through the contemplation, through the immersion path of Lumina Guild, only recently that a penny just dropped
Hmm.
of why. And it's this one piece around safety. People who practice meditation, they may feel safe, they may feel expansive on the meditation cushion. But
And
when
even
they
in other areas of life,
yes,
even
yes.
in other areas of life, yeah.
But when it comes to looking at their bank account, when it comes to moving large money around, when it's come to money management, that presence, that sense of safety is not there. That frequency that they manage to, and that vibration they manage to achieve on their meditation cushion and in all the areas of life is not showing up in the way they show up to money.
Mm-hmm.
So without that peace, without that vibrational peace, even if people do and practice all the good, all the good of money management, having a saving, invest, earn, spend, save, it's, it doesn't it doesn't cultivate wealth because that vibration of safety, of expansiveness is missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it and that happened to me as well. I worked in a bank. I earned really well. I save, I invest. But every time I move large money around, I feel freaking scared. I feel like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, what if I enter the wrong password? What if I enter the wrong bank account to transfer this to? And that all goes down to the lack of trust of oneself. It all boils down to I didn't have the safety within. And
Mm-hmm.
as I start sharing about this, I'm not the only one. It resonates with so many people in the spiritual community. It resonates with so many people who spend years working on on expanding their consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my work now is to help people to bring this sense of safety, to bring this vibration when they manage their money, when they
Mm-hmm.
show up to their money.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Oh, I want to add to this and anchor it in a particular way. So I think, when we talk about safety as it is experienced on the nervous system level, as long as whether it's about money or anything, it's just this happens to be really strong and sort of deeply embedded, if you will, our nervous
Mm,
system responses and reactions around money. And I think because money is so loaded, there's so much connected to money that it makes the charge around it e- exponentially more than often other arenas of life. I think the close runners up would be like love, partnership, having a baby, and health. But I would even say money seems to be right there at the top.
mm.
So at the core, this thing about safety in the nervous system is that it doesn't feel like, hold on, my daughter's trying to open the door. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to ignore her for now. Uh, wait, Hua, speak for a minute. I've got to do something with Kiara.
This is great. This is someone trying to be her business, trying to flow money, flowing abundance while having a young family. Mm. Going back to the topic of nervous system, vibration, money, like how do you regulate your nervous system? Let's just put money aside for a bit. What are your ways of regulating your nervous system? And 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 then just apply that when it show up to money, when you show up to money. And it's very easy to, as you show up, as you try to apply your technique of regulating your nervous system, either through breath work, either through meditation, or maybe an oil, it's very easy for the mind to trick you into, I don't want to go there. It's too uncomfortable. I will pick up my phone. I will distract myself instead. I will do something. I will meditate on something else that feels more comfortable. Your mind will try and trick you to do that. But that is actually you abandoning yourself, and you abandoning yourself in that discomfort. So maybe there's a way that you sit with that discomfort long enough that you realize that discomfort will not destroy you. It can't get any uncomfortable than wanting to distract yourself. It will only get better from there. What were you saying about nervous system, Tiffany? I need
Yeah,
help.
thank you.
Hope it's all right.
That was a great, this is real life happening in real time. um, just feeling also the thread that you wove in right now, and this safety piece in relationship to money. Yes, it's that when it comes to money, it can be so easy to, as you just said, self-abandon. But also another piece, and I don't want to psychologize here, but what I found in the work that I've done with people with money over the years is that we tend to project the energy of our primary caregivers or even our governmental caregivers onto money. And even if you had fabulous parents, they still offered conditional care at times, meaning, they were nicer to you when you behaved in ways that they liked, etc. It's just human. It's just being human. And so we tend to project that onto money. Like we need to behave appropriately, we need to do the right thing, we need to get the problem solved. So this is what I wanted to get to, is at the core of this whole piece about unsafety, it can only exist within a terrain that says there is a problem that you need to figure out, And the source of figuring that out is outside of you. And so now leave yourself or hand over your power to that teacher, to that way of being, to that formula, to that investment account, to whatever, and then you'll feel safe. But the truth is, the safety, the real safety that we're talking about at the nervous system autonomic level, it starts from inside first, and it has to be from self to self. It's a degree of intimacy that's actually extraordinary, and you can only practice it in the moment, in that moment of noticing when you when you're starting to go into the panic or the worry or the discomfort, or like you just said, the distraction. In that moment is when you choose to return, and you choose to come into that feeling place that is the knowing that you are safe, that right in that moment everything is okay. And when you're able to string together more of that moment, more of those moments, while you're also sitting in whatever your money stuff is, that's how you become more safe in relationship to money. So I think it's really it's really important to sort of break down, what do we mean by this, and how do we put it into practical practice in a way that's no longer outsourcing our authority or our power, but actually bringing it straight home to you, to your choice, and where you're choosing to put your attention in this moment.
And the core of it is your relationship to yourself. And money is just a mirror. Money is just a
Exactly.
vehicle for you to access that place where you can relate to yourself differently.
Mhm.
So if you don't engage with money, if you don't engage with your bank account, if you don't engage with your investment, then how can all of this can show up so you can
Mm,
relate to yourself in a different way? So in some way, money
mm,
may feel hard, but it is serving you more than ever. Whatever
mhm.
feels hard, that is the vehicle for you to upgrade to that next version of yourself where you relate to yourself differently.
It's really powerful what you just said, and I'm gonna I'm gonna pick up on what you said and just say it a little bit differently, because it's an extraordinary point. Is it's like, I don't actually know what I look like unless I look in a mirror. You see what I mean? I could feel my face and other people could tell me, but I don't really know unless I look in a mirror. And thinking of money as a mirror, particularly mirroring your relationship to power and self-intimacy, that's a very extraordinary way to hold your relationship with money. And for me, even in this moment, as I say it out loud, it opens up more space to be curious. And also for me, even in this moment, and I've been through quite a ride with money, especially a very uncomfortable one, especially the last year and a half, and intensifying in the last 6 months. I there was like nowhere left to go, run, or hide. Like, I could only face what was happening, and facing it from, um, I came to a place where I could no longer face it from a place of sheer fear, and actually operate as a human being. Like, it was pulling me down, the pressure of it. And so I got to a place where I was like, okay, uh, I gotta do this differently. And the truth is, the differently that I was doing is something that I practice in every other arena of life. And I just had to bring it in and focus it and hone it directly in relationship to money in the micro moments under pressure, and it works. It really, really, really works. So I love that you wove in this mirror piece. Uh, Hua, anything you want to offer in closing? And we'll talk about the enrichment series tomorrow too.
Let's talk about the enrichment series tomorrow.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want me to
yeah,
speak about it, or do you want to?
yeah. I
I'm
think my
going
internet
to.
is a bit glitchy.
Yeah, I see that it's. Uh, doing that. Let me pull up the link and I'm going to share it in this chat, and I'll also include it with the show notes. You know what? I think I'm just going to have to include it with the show notes because I'm not able to access it very easily here. But it's something called the Enrichment Series, and Hua and I are going to be live there tomorrow. And hi.
I think
Okay.
okay, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. The Enrichment Series, we're going to be talking about safe to be all of you, and safety specifically in relationship to creating, to sharing, to visibility, and to money. It's going to be an extraordinary dialogue that is experiential, complete with beautiful tools that you can put right into practice, and that we'll also be practicing in that time together. So visit the notes connected to this recording, and the link will be there. We hope to see you. Okay. Bye, Hua.